Last week we brought you part 1 of the Riviera 2021 Port Lincoln Tuna Classic. This week we finished the story. Let's pick up where we left off. Our first fish didn't make it. Unfortunately, it died on deck. It had swallowed the lure and was bleeding as it came on board. We are a little bit suspicious on board Team Justagirl, and we have a ritual. It's called a tuna dance. And yes, it does seem to bring us luck. See, it does work. We pretty much hooked up straight away, and this time it was a double with both Kerry and I on.
Straight down.
The conditions out there were just absolutely perfect. Couldn't have wished for it to be any better. This was Jin's first real comp. First time she'd been to Port Lincoln, and her job was to take over as soon as that fish hit the deck. So she needed to get him out, get the lure out, measure the fish, tag and release, and then help out wherever she could from there. She did a damn good job. Uh-oh, Kerry's fish is at the side of the boat as well. Kerry is super enthusiastic at everything she does. So we're just trying to slow her down a little bit so she reels that line in with a bit more purpose rather than just going fast.
There's fish underneath us.
We've only got 3 kilos of drag, so we need to make sure when we do lift, we lift with intention. And by that, every lift up has to count. If you lift up firmly but gentle, then you'll get some line onto your reel. If you just rip up, nothing happens.
Well, the fish has got colour.
You just got to remember that it's your rod that's the lever and the rod that needs to do the work. The reel is just a storage for your line. That's a really nice fish, and we want to try and stay on that school because usually in a school they're around the same size. Kerry was pretty stoked with that fish, so we thought we should take a photo. We were having a pretty cruisy day. The conditions were great, the water was flat, there were plenty of fish around. We'd lost quite a few and we'd caught quite a few undersized ones as well.
Go Trace! There's still heaps of fish. I need to do a drill and start taking some gear off. Get your kid off, Skip! Get my kid off. Come on, get him in. Does he feel big? He does, and then he doesn't. Double, double, double. Got Lila.
As the afternoon started to fade away on us, we started having a few little problems.
So what's going on there, Skip?
This bloody fish is just... If it's only small, I'll be so surprised.
You think it's what size?
I just can't control him. Like, yeah, listen to this. So, down with intention, up with intention. And he's just...
Oh,
taking
you know
away.
why? Because there's a school down there.
Like, really?
This might be the big one.
He's been on, what, 10 minutes already? You better move me.
Okay.
With the fish swimming towards the bow at 100 miles an hour, I had to get Jules to move the boat.
I just can't stop it. You want me to go? Well, I'm over under the front. So you need to pull round hard onto your starboard side. That's what I'm doing. Good.
This fish was causing me quite a bit of grief, and after 40 minutes, I still couldn't work out what on earth was going on. I should have him to the boat by now.
He's got to be getting tired soon. He's been on a while. And he has got 3 kilos of drag on.
For those who aren't too sure what drag is about, this is a 10 kilo line class comp, and you set the drag at a third of the line class. So it's set at 3.3 kilos.
Right now, until he starts coming to me, all I can do is just keep some pressure on him and keep the line tight. So he decides to either give up and come in nicely, because he's going to give whoever is leadering him some curry. Alright, starting to get some ground.
Skip was on a huge fish, and at this point the girls really did think that they had a good chance of winning that $29,000 Calcutta.
Oh no!
Is he off?
He pulled the hook.
He's off?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. All right, get back on the school.
Jules got us turned around and back onto the school as quick as she could. It was awesome. And we hooked up straight away. We didn't even get all the lines out.
Come on, you. Oh, you go on. Come, Karen.
I'm beginning to think that I've done a really bad job of prepping these rigs up for this tournament, because that's like 4 in a row now, and I just can't work out for the life of me what's going on. They shouldn't be breaking. They've got a 100-pound leader on them.
There's rubber band. Here's the fish. Well, wound around.
Easy.
This was weird. What's going on?
It's a crab.
Got shot.
Got shot.
That's why those have been breaking.
Oh, it all makes sense now.
Got shot.
Well, there's no point crying over spilt milk. Oh, I mean half-eaten fish. So, back onto it.
It's a massive shark. Look at it. Oh, baby.
Once again, Sherry gets started.
Don't let it get the...
We're winding as fast as we can because we've already lost a heap of fish to these sharks, and it's really starting to eat into our afternoon.
I think I've got only half a chip.
Yep. There you scaredy, you little thing.
Let me get him out.
ended the day with 7 fish, that count. We have 1 in the esky for sashimi, we caught half a dozen small ones, and we got shark 3 times. So when it was called lines in, we pulled everything in and headed off to Memory Cove for the night. So the plan now is, as soon as Checkmate have finished fueling up, we will be in there to fuel up for the morning as well. From there, we'll head a little bit closer into shore, anchor up for the night, and the tender will come and get us, take us to the Tacoma for dinner. It's pretty special.
Just coming in to refuel on the Tacoma. Hello. It's not tied on, Jules.
I said, let's get the champagne out for the girls, and they said, bugger them.
Oh, that'll be right.
No. Look after them. No, you got fish, right?
We did.
Some sad thing.
And we found a few big sharks.
Quick check on the oyster supply at the start of day 2. We learnt from Ben at Coffin Bay Oysters that the best way to keep our oysters fresh is not in the fridge, it's in salt water. That's what they used to.
The organisation that's gone into this, I've been really impressed by. We had the skipper's briefing on the Friday night, which was so nice to meet the other competitors and like have dinner, have a bit of fun. And then one of the most amazing things for me was the shotgun start, and all the boats come on. They all come out in the morning, and the water's flat. And then as it counts down to 8 o'clock, we all sort of get in line.
Start sneaking forward.
The last 10 seconds is like 3, 2, 1, and we just banged it out of there, and all these boats are like, whoa, and all this white water behind them. It was so exhilarating. I would like, that was just amazing to experience. And it's been fun on the boat. I'm learning heaps, watching the other girls fish, and you know, I'm working on the things that I can work on at the moment, just tagging and releasing and netting. So,
Do you think you'll chuck this in your calendar for next year, or is once enough?
no, I'll come again just with a shotgun start. That was just amazing.
Well, the morning started off flat out. We hadn't even put the first 3 rods in the water and we'd already hooked up. It was just one hookup after another. At this point, we were the dream team. Everyone had their jobs, everything was going smoothly. Jen had her tag and release down to a fine art. And yeah, it was just all happening. It was awesome.
Can you get that rod? I've already taken it off the thing.
We needed to get these fish in quickly for 2 reasons. The day was going to go so fast and we didn't want to get sharked again. We needed every fish to count.
I'll just take and hold mine out there. Probably leave my own. Jen, can you give me a right glove? I'll buy my steering wheel.
Did Jules just say her steering wheel? Am I being replaced? We've just got to make sure that we give each other enough space so that our fish don't tangle each other up. And that's always a problem when there's a triple hookup, because they all try to swim together. day one in the Riviera Port Lincoln Tuna Classic. We had an awesome day with 7 fish in total that we could count. After an awesome night on the Tacoma and an awesome meal put on by Majesnik, it was time for day 2. We were hoping to double our score at least today. Three-way hookups are awesome, especially when you're not expecting it. We thought we'd just hooked up on the one fish and the other 2 lures would have just been laying in the water. The trick now is to get all 3 fish in the boat. Jules has leaded her own into the net. Jin's done an awesome job once more. Now it's just up to Kerry and I to make sure we get our fish on board as well.
Yep.
I'll hold him, Jin. What is it? A Jules fish, nearly.
I nearly fell in the water.
Double. You ready for me?
Catfish.
Oh, no, you got. Oh. Never mind.
Fish. Well,
So Jules, day 2 as skipper.
Yes, yes. So it's actually, I was looking forward to this trip. Haven't been to Port Lincoln for 2 years. Couldn't make it last year because of COVID and weather, etc. But it's awesome getting the girls on the fish. Really enjoy doing that. So that's been really good. And just learning what to look for, what to be mindful of. There's a lot of boats out here at the moment, so I'm just having to keep an eye out and make sure I give way to my right, give way to my starboard side. And yeah, so it's just so awesome to be on the water again. And everyone is so nice, friendly, inclusive. And it was really lovely on the other ship last night. They fueled us up, got us a glass of bubbly while we were fueling up, which was really nice. So as soon as we were there, they were at the side of our boat with glasses and a bottle, whole bottle. So polished that on off, so that was good. And Gabby made a beautiful meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs, so that was nice. And they provided wine and beer, and it was great.
By this stage, we're working really well as a crew. Everyone has their jobs, everything is calm, not like the panic rush of day 1. And of course, that's how it always goes, because we haven't got much longer and the comp's going to be over. There's nothing like supporting fellow club members and their boats when they're hooked up. Go Rolfie, go Broadville!
So, Kerry, how are you finding the trip so far?
Pretty awesome. I mean, we got on the fish like literally lines in, bang, 3-way hookups this morning, so you can't complain about that. I don't know, like,
That was pretty exciting, wasn't it, this morning?
it's good. I love staying out at Memory Cove. I think it's, I don't know, just the environment on the mothership and all the boats around, and we've all been out fishing, everyone's caught fish, so yeah, this Riviera Tuna Classic is an excellent comp, and it's an enjoyable weekend away with Team Justagirl, so I love coming on this trip. I wouldn't miss this one.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's a big shark! I'm just taking my fish. You don't have to jump from the shark. Drive the boat away from the shark. Drive the boat away.
So you're going to get sharks?
Yeah.
I thought Kerry was going to jump down.
They frighten the shit out of me because they come so quick.
Then I'm going to jump in the boat.
I feel like they might.
They won't jump in the boat, Kerry. So you're feeling a bit scared at the minute, Kerry, a bit vulnerable.
They're big bronzies, hey?
They are big bronzies.
I don't feel like I've got much on there, so maybe take it.
Is he not fighting you anymore, is he?
I think I might have got shot. Oh no, I got shot. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh no, Kerry, again.
That's twice this weekend.
Okay, let's get them back, Kissel. They're just there. Do you want a photo of any sort?
No.
Okay, put it down in the boat. I'll deal with it. You get us some back on and I'll get them on.
This is probably the only time I fish full time, Jules.
Yeah.
Only time I fish full time and I'm first on strike, which is pretty cool for me. And just like that, it's lines in and back to Port Lincoln. The radios have been quiet all day, as day 2 you're not allowed to disclose your fish, so it's going to be a surprise. With 11 fish today, which was great, we wanted at least a 7 like we got yesterday, so 18 fish for us. Time to come in, pack up, get the boat back on the trailer and get ready for presentation night.
Once again, thanks for having us. We're certainly proud to be on board, and congratulations to all the winners. So all those who were lucky enough on the weekend to get amongst them, congratulations, and we look forward to doing it all again next year.
Righto, we're getting to the business end of it, ladies and gentlemen. The champion female, 8 metres and under, is awarded to Tracy Tito from Justagirl for 12
Over here, Tracy.
Gee, we had an awesome tournament, absolutely had a blast. Jules had to fly back to Adelaide and missed the presentation night, unfortunately. But we do now have a trailer boat female on the overall female champion board. Yay! Just a girl, out.